Some of the biggest moments in life don't happen in front of crowds. They happen in quiet places, where no one is watching, where words don't even come out loud. This is one of those stories. Long ago, in ancient Israel, there was a woman named Hannah. She lived in a time when having children was seen as everything, and Hannah couldn't have any. Every year, her family traveled to the house of God to worship, and every year the pain followed her there. She watched others with full arms and full hearts. She smiled politely, but inside she carried a grief that never seemed to leave. It wasn't just sadness. It was the kind that sits with you when you lie down at night, the kind that makes you ask questions you don't say out loud. One day, Hannah couldn't hold it in anymore. She stepped away from the noise, away from the crowd, and she prayed, not with fancy words, but with a trembling heart. Her lips moved, but no sound came out. She wasn't trying to be dramatic. She was just emptying everything she had inside. The priest nearby, named Eli, saw her and misunderstood. He thought she was acting strangely. But Hannah explained, "I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just pouring out my soul." Eli paused. Then he said something simple but powerful. "Go in peace. May God give you what you've asked for." And something changed in Hannah. Not everything, but something inside her steadied. She stood up, wiped her face, and went back to her life with a quiet kind of hope. In time, Hannah became pregnant, and when her son was born, she named him Samuel, which means, "I asked God for him." But here's where the story takes a brave turn. Hannah remembered her promise. She had told God that if he gave her a son, she would dedicate him back to him. So, when Samuel was old enough, she brought him to the house of God and placed him under Eli's care. Imagine that moment, the joy of finally holding your miracle and the strength it takes to open your hands. This wasn't loss, this was trust. Samuel grew up in God's house, and one night while he was sleeping, he heard his name. Samuel. He got up thinking Eli had called him, but Eli said, "That wasn't me, go back to sleep." It happened again and again. Finally, Eli realized what was happening. God was calling the boy. So he told Samuel, "If you hear the voice again, say, 'Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening.'" And Samuel did. That quiet prayer from hurting mother had turned into a calling for a child who would one day guide a nation. Hannah's story isn't about getting everything you want. It's about bringing your whole heart to God, even when it hurts, even when you're tired of hoping. And Samuel's story reminds us that sometimes the prayers we whisper in private can shape futures we'll never fully see. Some of the most powerful changes start with a quiet prayer and the courage to trust what comes next.